Hello, welcome to Testimony Tuesday, and thank you for following us. I have with me Ben Parsons, who was, I told most of you all on Sunday morning, I said, hey, we got this guy coming, he's going to be up Tuesday for Testimony Tuesday, and you want to hear. Well, we had some technical difficulties. And then he went back off to Anderson College, but he's home for the summer break, getting ready to go to work, and just got a week before he takes off to work. So, hey, Ben,
hey.
You finished up your sophomore year of college?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, and you're going into
cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity. All right. Mm-hmm. And of course, Anderson University. That's where Mom was a alumni. So, did she have any influence on you going there a couple of years ago?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of influence, actually.
Oh yeah. But hey, Ben, home for the summer, and of course you'll be going back. Is it 4-year program now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, 4-year program. But I remember, Ben, even though we didn't get to stream it, but we talked about some things. This has been a couple months ago, but this was when revival was going on at, of course, we heard about the Asbury revival. There were some things transpiring at Anderson campus. And so you were a part of some of that. Why don't you just take some time here to tell us a little bit about what the revival actually looked like at the Anderson campus?
Yeah, so the way that student spiritual life works is that within residence halls you have a discipleship coordinator for every floor. Usually there's only a couple of them in my hall, but you'll have a small life group of just guys get together, study. But then there's larger skill ones, they'll have for both guys halls they'll have a combined one, both girls halls will have a combined one. Mm-hmm. And then there was one towards the beginning of second semester that was all halls, so it was basically everyone across campus in one big life group. And mm-hmm. It was really impressive because it was everyone on campus that just wanted to be there to genuinely worship, mm-hmm. wanted to learn. Yeah. And it was just that kind of thing. So that actually happened twice. The first one I was there, I wanted to go to the second one, but I had a 10-page paper due. So
I understand.
As one does, I kind of had to put that first.
Sure.
But, yeah.
I know, of course, there was a number of revivals in college campuses, and so what do you think? There's no right or wrong answer on this, so be sure you just keep this in mind. I just want your opinion on why do you think that? I know, of course, Asbury. I know Anderson had some things going on. I know Lee College in Tennessee had some things going on. Cedarville had some things going on here in Ohio, and I mean, boy, a lot of college campuses had some spiritual renewal taking place. Why do you think it? Why do you think it kind of landed on the college campus, which would be 19 to 23-year-olds, something like that?
I think that's a good question. I think our generation's kind of special, and it's kind of a broad statement for everyone, not just our campuses, but I think we've been through the ringer for quite a few things mm-hmm. Over the past 2 years, and I feel like we've kind of tried everything else, except we're just mm-hmm. kind of now coming back to the right answer, which is the faith. So.
Yeah, Christ. Yeah. So, obviously there's gatherings for, they had several consecutive nights of revival, and so that's kind of went, come and gone, and the college life went back to normal. Could you tell a lot of difference in post revival? Was the attitude? What was the tenor? What was the atmosphere? Let's say when graduation comes along. Well, when graduation comes along, everybody's happy, Yeah. But what was the tenor and the atmosphere after the few weeks that it was in Asbury, or after some of those gatherings at Anderson?
Well, I can say that like beforehand, we're still recovering from the effects of COVID and everything the past couple of years, and that's obviously had a pretty big toll on spiritual life at campus, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And so after those few weeks, I felt, at least for me personally, it just felt so much better. I felt like there was like legitimately a lot of hope restored.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people were just, back at it.
Yeah. Speaking of hope restored, we're having a lot of conversation about the mental health of people. Just, I know your mom is a Christian counselor, like the way counseling here in Bellefontaine, and you can't get in to see her or any of her colleagues, because they're just so booked up. I mean, they got a waiting list for the waiting list, and that's not just unique to Bellefontaine. That's just anything that's got mental health attached to it is going to be busy, and it's going to be backed up, and it's going to be a log jam. We have a discussion about that today in a meeting. People are just struggling to find hope, and we talked a little bit about that even in our meeting about people. There's always been mental health issues. Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's so much more frequent? Why is it so much more aggressive? Why do you think it is so much more serious and severe? I just had a conversation this past week with someone involved in mental health, and they were telling me, it's just mind-blowing. And after you answer it, I'm going to tell you something else that was said. But so why do you think it's just so, the hopelessness is so severe now?
I think it's because we got our priorities mixed up for a large part of it. Like people now, like our priorities are not like faith. They're not, long-term things. They're more just like short-term self-medicating kind of things.
Okay.
And I feel like people also kind of lack purpose too, because they don't put enough emphasis on their faith too.
Yeah. And of course, one of the things that this person, one of the commented to me was, and a lot of people is kind of shipwrecked with the hopelessness, and they're connected, or they've been connected, I should say, or associated with, with the church community. I think a lot of us in pastoral ministry try to defend the church's failures in the past, and I think I'm kind of in that place now. I'm just trying to rectify it. I see our era. Mm-hmm. Boy, I bet your group sees that. Talk a little bit about that. How you think the church is, again, just your opinion, just your thoughts. How do you think the church has dropped the ball in the past?
I think part of it is the church has kind of pandered to too wide of an audience. I think that they're trying to be too inclusive, and like not in a bad way, not like, trying to get the message out there is a bad thing, but it's like watering down their message so that more people would accept it. Trying to make it too vague, and just kind of neglecting the people that are like really genuine with their faith, the people that like really want to go after it and grow. Just kind of overshadowing those people. In favor of trying to keep numbers up.
Hey man, that's good. That's good. So one of the things you said to me when we did the record that just kind of, for me, was a profound comment. I asked you, I said, so, all right, you're 20. You're 20 years old, graduated from high school, good kid, man. You're a good kid, hanging around the church, come from a good family, and been a part of the church, part of youth group. And so I said, hey, what mistakes did you make? And before you answer that, let me just say, I have a ton of ministry mistakes, okay? Mm-hmm. And maybe someday I'll write a book about it. I don't know, But we all look back and say, I had some do-overs. Or if I had some do-overs, or some, I like to have a mulligan, you know. What would be one of those specifically as it relates to your faith?
I don't think I had an adequate support group for my faith. Like my friends here, you know, we were all raised in the faith background of some sort or another, but they didn't like actively encourage it or anything. They didn't hold me accountable to any significant degree when it came to my faith. And having that kind of support group with like-minded peers is a very big thing, because when you're so young, there's so much going on in your life that oftentimes that's really not the first thing you're thinking about. It's other things. So yeah, having that kind of group is very important.
Yeah. So Ben, what you're saying is, and I want you to elaborate on this because I just think that's profound. I do. But what you're saying is, you know, your age group really is inviting to people who will, for lack of a better word, in a spirit of Christ, in a loving way, get in your face about your walk. You all are inviting to that, aren't you?
Yes.
And that's interesting. You know, that's interesting. I mean, it's just like, hey, now again, don't be mean-spirited, don't be hateful, don't be hard, you know, don't be cruel, don't be unlike Christ, but just, man, and I remember you was talking about that, you know, the last time you kind of hung out with the boys that just, you know, the gals and guys that just kind of went along and didn't challenge you much, and then you go off to college, and now you're out with some folks who kind of put the challenge to you.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and you've seen the benefit of that.
Yes, I have. Very much.
Yeah. Wow, that's powerful, and just that fellowship, and I find that, man, I find that to be true. You know, I do. I find that to be true. There are people that's just hungry for biblical instructions that gives insight into how to be holy, and meaning how to be like Jesus Christ. You know, I think there's just a huge hunger for that, and so, hey, what, you know, you kind of have that do-over, and you kind of look back and see some of those mistakes. Just what would you say to those who are freshman, sophomore at Bellefontaine High School, or Ben Logan, or Riverside, or West Liberty, or Indian Lake? What would you say to those students that are familiar with the faith, and you know, and here you are, you know, 4 years since being a sophomore or whatever? What would you say to them?
I would say disregard what everyone else thinks, honestly, about pursuing your faith, because if you're not going to be able to build a firm foundation for that in high school, or you know, early on in your life, when you go off to college, especially if it's not like a Christian college, you're going to have a lot of trouble keeping that. Yeah. And so it's really important to get into a good system early.
That's good. That's good. Boy, I hope you hear this. I hope you not only share this, but I hope you embrace this. And of course, you know, Ben, we have so many examples of the New Testament or the Old Testament, or the Bible, that are just filled with, when you are in an environment of affirmation, how much more it builds you up in the faith. That's powerful, powerful. All right, hey, what else, Ben? You good?
I mean, I think I am.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to know?
Hey, no, man. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you sharing. Off to work you go next week, and then back to school you go in August.
Yep, August 13th.
You're back at it August 13th. Already got your classes for AU and ready to go, huh?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Hey, man, I want you to know we appreciate you. We thank God for you. We're proud of you. Bless you, brother. Bless you. Amen. Hey, be sure to share this. God bless you. Thank you.